I'm Robert Anderson and welcome to the Tourist Route.
Come with me on my trip to Florence in Italy. Today I'm starting in Ventimiglia, which is in the northwest Italy, just over the French border. I wasn't visiting the town, which I'm sure is lovely. It was more about leaving a French train to board an Italian train. Today was going to be a long trip as I was going from Ventimiglia, heading north up to Milan, then taking a high-speed train down to the south to Florence, the capital of Tuscany. It seemed a bit odd that I was going so far north just to go south again, but it was the fastest and cheapest route. Today I was travelling first class on the Trenitalia Intercity 745 up to Milano. As I made my way through the carriage, I did get a bit of a hospital waiting room vibe with the blue and the grey theme, and the lighting and the easy mop floors didn't exactly help matters. The seats were really comfortable and you were equipped with a power socket, a flappy table. Over the way you've got the four-seaters, which also have flappy tables and quite a lot of room, as you can see. There was a good overhead rack where you can put your big suitcases, which I always like, because I hate putting them next to the doors. It has a window blind, which is very useful in a sunny country like Italy. There's a light and a coat hook above you. There's really good leg room, as you can see. There's a bin, which must be really annoying to empty. And you've got aircon, which is always a lifesaver. Soon we were off and the journey took just under 4 hours, which had nice views but was generally uneventful. When we arrived in Milan, I had less than 10 minutes to board my next train and I wasn't very optimistic. While zipping my way around people on the platform, Milan train station has a great layout and I was able to find my train really quickly. This was the Ferracarrozza 9547 fast train and I was really looking forward to this. As I boarded this beautiful train, it was a bit of a fight to get to my seat because it was really busy. Making it to my seat just in the nick of time, this was a very beautiful train. A really comfortable seat and all the mod cons that you'd expect. And they even gave me a sandwich and an espresso. After a very pleasant trip down on probably one of the best train rides I've ever had, it took just under 2 hours to get from Milan to Florence. As I made my way along the platform, I did have a slight issue, in that I hadn't actually pre-booked to do anything while I was in Florence. It was Saturday evening at 5 PM, and I was leaving Wednesday morning, and I'd just been told that the museums all shut on Monday. So I had Sunday and Tuesday to do anything meaningful. It was time to find my hotel and do some planning. Ventimiglia to Milan is about 4 hours and starts at €20 one way on Trenitalia. Milan to Florence is about 2 hours if you travel on the Ferracarrozza fast train. A great experience, with fares starting at about €30. You can travel from Ventimiglia to Florence, but you would need to change in Genoa and Pisa. Although I hadn't planned Florence, I still had a good idea of what I wanted to see. The Galleria dell'Accademia was high on the list as this was the home of the statue of David, Michelangelo's masterpiece. I found tickets on Viator and was able to book for a 10:15 AM slot. The queues were massive and I was so glad I had bought a skip the line ticket, although it cost me €24, which was €8 more than the actual ticket. There's probably a lesson in pre-planning there. I'm not a huge Renaissance fan when it comes to art, so the gallery wasn't completely to my taste. Don't get me wrong, I think some of the artworks are absolutely stunning, but they just get a little bit samey. What I was really there for, and everyone else, was to see the statue of David. After a look at the religious art, I turned the corner and there he was at the end of a large gallery in all his glory. As you can see, it was busy but not too crowded, and I was able to spend some time with him. I cannot emphasize how perfect this statue is, and the skill Michelangelo had to carve it from a lump of marble is unbelievable. Remember, he didn't have power tools. The details from his veins in his hands to the curls in his hair, it's skilled beyond belief. After the statue of David, you go on to the Hall of Colossus, which has a remarkable collection of Renaissance sculpture. In the upper galleries, you can see wonderful examples of church art, which have oil paintings, icons, and triptychs. Soon it was time to leave and find myself a cappuccino. Home to the statue of David and other works, the gallery displays Florentine art from the 13th to 16th centuries. The gallery is small, but they use the space well to show their vast collection. Advanced ticket booking is recommended to bypass the long lines. This is a popular attraction, and tickets start at €16 to enter. I walked from the Galleria dell'Accademia for about 10 minutes through the narrow streets until I came to the very busy Piazza della Signoria, the main plaza in Florence. This is a massive space which is an outdoor sculpture museum in itself, right next to the Uffizi Gallery. This is a very busy area, as you can see, so be mindful of pickpockets here. Here you can see a stone replica of Michelangelo's David, 𝐦𝐿𝐫𝐿𝐫𝐿, an open-air gallery on the corner of the piazza, showcasing an impressive collection of Renaissance statues and artefacts, and of course the impressive Fountain of Neptune. This impressive building is the Piazza Vecchio, which is Florence's town hall, and that is the Forno Tower. You can go inside here and see the picturesque courtyard filled with decorative columns and frescoes. If you have time, there's also a museum here, and your ticket will also give you access to the tower and discounts to other museums. Piazza della Signoria showcases an outdoor display of iconic statues, like a replica of Michelangelo's David and the Fountain of Neptune. Don't miss the 𝐦𝐿𝐫𝐿𝐫, an open-air gallery on the corner of the plaza, showcasing a collection of Renaissance statues and artefacts. The square is a stone's throw from other major attractions like the Uffizi, Florence Cathedral and the Ponte Vecchio. But please remember, this is a very busy area, so watch out for pickpockets. Next was the Uffizi Gallery, arguably the main museum in Florence, and one famed for its collections of Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Titian, Caravaggio and Rembrandt. It's located right next to the Piazza della Signoria, and I had purchased an advance ticket from the official website, which allowed me to choose my time to go. Again, this was a no-brainer, and seeing the line, I was confused why more people hadn't done this. Top tip, you pick up your tickets at gate 3, then follow the confusing line to the main door. There are some amazing examples of Roman art and sculpture, Renaissance art, and a few minor pieces from Leonardo himself. The building is an artwork alone with its ornate ceilings and decorative corridors. The main attraction for me was the Botticelli exhibit. I love his style. It's almost comic book and very colourful. The main attraction was the Birth of Venus, an amazing piece of art which every Adobe Illustrator user will be familiar with. I failed a bit with capturing the gallery on video, which I have no excuse for, although maybe subconsciously I didn't want to give you any spoilers. The Uffizi Gallery showcases an unrivaled collection of Italian Renaissance masterpieces, including works by Botticelli, Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Housed in a 16th century building, the gallery features stunning architecture, complete with elaborate corridors and frescoed ceilings. Tickets start at €12 and it's highly popular, so I would buy tickets in advance to skip long lines, or you can opt for off-peak hours for a quieter experience. Audio tours are available, as are guided tours which you would need to book in advance. The gallery is accessible to all and offers facilities like toilets, a bookstore and a cafe. And please be mindful there are photography restrictions and a policy of no large bags. Florence is famous for many things, but arguably the dome of the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Foro is the main feature. The cathedral, the 𝐬𝐿𝐫𝐿 bell tower and the baptistry of St. John dominate the centre of Florence in Plaza del Duomo. Each of these buildings are highly decorated in marble and are absolutely stunning. Unlike the museums, they are open on a Monday and you can purchase a ticket that lets you explore all the building and climb the tower and the dome. As I had been a bit unplanned, the official tickets had all sold out, but I was able to use Viator again and found a skip the line tour with a guide. The line, as you can see here, was very long, but we were taken to a door and after a short wait, we were in. Please note, you will need to dress respectfully and you won't be allowed in wearing short shorts or with your shoulders exposed. However, you can buy a paper overcoat for €8, but you will look a bit silly. I was really pleased that I had a guided tour as we learned so much from her. The inside of the cathedral was very sparse, but they have some very interesting frescoes, a sundial clock, and their stained glass was very impressive. The main feature was obviously the dome. What I didn't realise was that it had a fresco on it, which was magnificent. If you climbed up to the dome and had a look at the picture, it would look very distorted, but when you're on the ground, everything looks in proportion. And I thought that was incredibly clever engineering or artistry, or it's just very clever. Also, if you look at the close-ups, you see the detail of the frescoes. It must have taken years to do. We then have a quick look at the front, which again is amazing, and a look at the baptistry, which is a drum-like building outside the church. Why is it outside the church, I hear you ask? Back in olden times, you were not allowed in the church unless you had been baptised, hence why it is outside. Also, fun fact, the cathedral is the 4th largest cathedral in the world, and although it is Catholic, it is not owned by the Vatican like others, as the people of Florence paid for it in 1436. Florence's cathedral and dome is an engineering masterpiece of the Renaissance era. You can climb the dome, but it can be physically demanding and involves a narrow winding staircase to reach the top. Entry is regulated through time reservations to manage crowds, so book in advance. Dress appropriately, adhere to a modest dress code, no short shorts or vest tops. Consider purchasing a combined ticket that includes access to other parts of the cathedral complex, such as the baptistry and the bell tower, and tickets start at €30 for a combined ticket. From the dome, I heard that a trip to Piazza Michelangelo was a must. It didn't look too far, but it was a hot day and I felt the walk uphill might be too much. So I got a taxi from the train station. Bad idea. It took me a very scenic way and it cost €20. I should have explored the buses. The view was amazing and well worth the trip. It's a place you can't stop taking photos.
As views go, that's pretty good.
The reason why they call it Piazza Michelangelo is because there is a bronze statue of David here. They're a tad obsessed. There are usual tourist market stalls here, as well as a cafe and a restaurant. Piazza Michelangelo offers sweeping vistas of Florence, showcasing iconic landmarks like the Duomo, the Ponte Vecchio and the 𝐼𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐿 River. Reachable via a scenic walk up the city centre, the route to Piazza Michelangelo is steep but rewarding. The ATAF city buses, lines 12 and 13, provide a convenient alternative to walking, taking visitors directly to the plaza. Renowned for its sunset views, the piazza is a popular spot in the evening, offering a picturesque backdrop as the city lights come on. Alongside the panoramic terrace, the plaza hosts a cafe, a restaurant, and several artisan stalls, making it a pleasant spot to relax. From Piazza Michelangelo, I walked down the hill to the 𝐼𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐿 River and headed to the Ponte Vecchio, the oldest bridge in Florence and the only Florentine bridge to survive World War II, renowned for its medieval stone arches and vibrant jewellery shops lining the pathway. It is a pedestrian-only bridge which is ideal for a leisurely stroll or some window shopping, but be mindful it's busy and pickpockets will be around. It's a great photo stop, especially at sunrise or sunset, but if you want to get a good photo of the Ponte Vecchio itself, head towards the Ponte Santa Trita, which is the next bridge up the 𝐼𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐿. It's quiet and will give you a great photo. Ponte Vecchio is the oldest bridge in Florence and is renowned for its medieval stone arches and vibrant jewellery shops lining the pathway. Easily accessible on foot from the city centre, it's a pedestrian-only bridge, ideal for leisurely strolls and window shopping. A favourite for photographers, especially at sunrise or sunset, the bridge offers picturesque views of the 𝐼𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐿 River and the cityscape. Beyond shopping, the bridge is close to various art galleries and historical sites, making it a well-rounded cultural experience. San Lorenzo Market is located at Piazza del Mercato Centrale. It offers an array of Tuscan foods, artisan crafts and leather goods, perfect for a genuine Florentine shopping experience. The market features an indoor Mercato Centrale for fresh produce and gourmet foods, and an outdoor area with various souvenirs and leather items. Situated in Florence core, the market is a convenient stop amidst other key attractions, easily fitting into any sightseeing itinerary. After 2 days, I felt I had done the main sights of Florence, and the city of Pisa was only an hour away by train, and it seemed like a no-brainer to visit. The train was a double-decker regional service, so there was no seat reservations. The journey was really comfortable, and we were there in about an hour. Arriving on time, there was only one place I and everyone on train was heading to, and that was the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I whipped out Google Maps and it said it was a 20-minute walk, so I headed through the town. I'll be honest and say nothing really jumped out at me about Pisa until I got to the Piazza del Duomo, or the Square of Miracles.
It's quite busy around here.
You see this wide open space with the baptistry, the cathedral, and of course the Leaning Tower, which is magnificent. Built in 1173, I do wonder how it stays up, but it does. You can now climb it. This was only opened again in the last year, but I didn't have a ticket, and if I'm being honest, I wasn't really that encouraged by the 400 odd steps at a slight angle. The Cathedral of Pisa is a remarkable experience for architectural splendour and historical richness. Officially known as the Cathedral Metropolitana Preesame della Santa Maria Assunta, this Romanesque church is situated in the renowned Piazza dei Miracoli, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built in the 11th century, the cathedral symbolises the maritime might of Pisa during the Middle Ages. As you step inside, the awe-inspiring interior with its lofty nave, majestic coffered ceiling, and an array of exquisite art including detailed frescoes and sculptures. Don't miss the detailed pulpit by Giovanni Pisano, a masterpiece of medieval sculpture. Standing distinct with its round shape and crowned by a stunning dome, the baptistry of St. John in Pisa is the largest in Italy and presents a harmonious blend of Romanesque and Gothic styles. Constructed in 1152, it's renowned for its remarkable acoustics and the fascinating play of light within its interior. Inside, you'll find the highlight, a beautiful detailed pulpit by Nicola Pisano. The intricate carvings on the pulpit depict scenes from the life of Christ, showcasing the artistry of the medieval period. The last stop is the Camposanto, also known as the Monumental Cemetery. This remarkable structure, often overshadowed by its more famous neighbours, the Leaning Tower and the Cathedral, holds its own unique charm and historical significance. Built in the 13th century, the Camposanto is said to have been constructed around sacred soil from Golgotha, brought back by the Crusaders, making it a highly revered site. The structure's elegant Gothic cloisters enclose a tranquil inner courtyard, which has Harry Potter vibes. As you walk through, you'll see some amazing frescoes that adorn the walls, some of which are masterpieces of the 14th and 15th century, depicting vivid scenes from the biblical and historical events. Some frescoes were damaged during World War II. Additionally, the collection of Roman sarcophagi and medieval sculptures offer a glimpse into the artistic and cultural evolution of Pisa. The Camposanto is not just a cemetery, but a silent and poignant testimony to Pisa's past, making it a profoundly moving and enriching experience for any visitor. I walked back to the train station, and a train to Florence was only a few minutes' wait. The piazza is a pleasant 20-minute walk from Pisa Central train station, allowing visitors to explore the city en route. For those preferring not to walk, city buses such as the Lam Rosa, the Red Line, offer frequent services from Pisa Central to the Piazza del Duomo. The vast grassy lawns of the plaza invite visitors to relax, have a picnic, or simply enjoy watching tourists from around the world. Tickets cost from €10. There are frequent trains between Florence and Pisa, and please remember that Pisa has a lot more to see than just the tower, such as museums and restaurants. I loved Florence. The whole place is an ideal tourist destination with their narrow streets, amazing architecture, and world-class museums. This would be a great 3 or 4 day break, and I would say it's perfect for adult couples or families with older children. I travelled from France to Florence, and I have to say the trains in Italy are brilliant. The Ferricosa 9547 from Milan to Florence was probably the best train I have ever been on, and I was amazed at its speed. That train goes down almost the length of Italy and stops at Rome and Naples. My hotel in Florence was near to the train station, which in turn was near to the main sites of Florence, including the Duomo, the San Lorenzo Market, and many restaurants. Florence Airport, or the Peretola, is very well connected and is a 20-minute bus ride to the city centre. Florence is a very walkable city. There are of course buses and trams, but if you're here for a few days and staying in the old town, most of the key sites are within walking distance of one another. If you feel you may need to use public transport, there is an Agile 10 card which will give you up to 10 90-minute journeys for €14 on the bus. Florence does have a tourist pass called the Frenzy card, which was €85, which will give you 72 hours access to all the main museums, including the Uffizi. You will need to book certain museums in advance. Please note this doesn't include the cathedral. I think I did most of the key sites within 48 hours, but I would suggest spending 3 or 4 days as there is a lot more to see. Also, be mindful that museums close on a Monday. Day trips from Florence are also something to explore. I did Pisa, which was a great day out, and Milan, Bologna, and even Rome are within distance using the fast train. I went in peak tourist season in August, and it is busy and hot. If you don't like the heat or crowds, I suggest a trip between October to April when it's a lot cooler. I've put some relevant links on my website as well as the places I went to. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe to my channel for more travel videos, and your comments are always appreciated. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Tourist Route. I hope you enjoyed the journey and found some inspiration for your next trip. If you liked what you watched, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to share and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more travel adventures coming to this channel. For an extra dose of travel tips, helpful links, and a deeper dive into all the destinations I've covered, head over to thetouristrooute.com.